Buried Treasure is not just a story for children. We are going to uncover the true history behind the legendary Treasure Island, a journey that connects a classic novel to a real, forgotten island and the infamous pirate who walked its shores. I will show you the evidence that separates Hollywood fantasy from documented fact, revealing the genuine mystery that has captivated explorers for centuries. What secrets lie hidden beneath the sand and sea, and how did a simple tale become a global obsession? What does a real treasure map look like to you? That story began not on a distant shore, but on a rainy afternoon in the Scottish Highlands. In 1881, Robert Louis Stevenson was vacationing with his family, and to amuse his 12-year-old stepson, he drew a map. It was a detailed, ink and watercolor creation of an island, complete with coves, hills, and 3 red crosses marking where a fortune was buried. He named it Treasure Island. The map so captured his own imagination that he immediately began writing a story to go along with it, publishing it serially in a children's magazine. The book was an instant, runaway success, capturing the world's imagination in a way few stories ever have. But its true legacy lies in the archetypes it forged. Long John Silver, the charismatic and treacherous cook with a parrot on his shoulder, became the blueprint for almost every fictional pirate that followed. The one-legged seaman with a hidden agenda is a trope that started right here. And then there are the story's details, which feel less like fiction and more like a documented account. The map itself is described with such precision that readers felt they could navigate by it. The mutiny aboard the Hispaniola is a masterclass in building tension and betrayal. And the very location of the treasure, buried on a beach beneath a looming landmark, is described with a specific, almost geographical clarity. This compelling realism forces a fascinating question. Did Stevenson simply possess a brilliant, inventive mind, or was he drawing from a real, historical source? Was the map he drew for his stepson purely a product of fantasy, or could it have been a reflection of a genuine, forgotten chart he had once seen? The line between hero and villain can be as thin as a ship's rope. This was the world of Captain William Kidd, a man whose life story reads like a blueprint for the very legend Stevenson would later write. He did not start his career as an outlaw. Originally, Kidd was a respected Scottish sea captain and privateer, which meant he was legally commissioned by the English crown to hunt down pirates. He was a lawful hunter of the very men he would one day be accused of joining. His mission was straightforward, funded by a powerful syndicate of English nobles who tasked him with targeting French vessels and enemy privateers. But the voyage was cursed from the start. Plagued by disease among his crew and a frustrating lack of prizes, the pressure mounted. His men, promised wealth and growing restless, eventually pushed for a more direct and brutal path to riches. It was then that William Kidd crossed a line, allegedly turning to piracy and attacking ships he was not authorized to touch. His most famous capture was the Quedagh Merchant, an Armenian vessel sailing under a French pass. The ship was a phenomenal prize, laden with silks, gold, silver, and a treasure trove of valuable goods. In that moment, Kidd went from being the hunter to the most wanted man on the high seas. Desperate to save himself, he attempted to negotiate a pardon, even hiding the Quedagh Merchant in the Caribbean while he sailed north to New York, hoping his old connections would protect him. It was a fatal miscalculation. He was arrested, sent to England in chains, and put on trial for piracy and murder. The trial was a sensational affair, a political show designed to appease his powerful former backers. He was found guilty and executed in 1701, but the story did not end at the gallows. As he stood on the scaffold, Kidd made one final, tantalizing claim. He swore he had hidden a fortune, a vast treasure somewhere so secret that only he knew its location. And with his death, that secret was lost to the world, transforming his captured wealth into a ghost, a legend that would ignite a global treasure hunt lasting centuries. Kidd's final words sent generations of fortune seekers to the far corners of the globe. But did one of those remote locations end up immortalized in fiction? The search for the real Treasure Island begins by comparing Robert Louis Stevenson's fictional map to the geography of our world. One location stands out as a remarkably strong candidate: Norman Island in the British Virgin Islands. Its topography is a near-perfect match, featuring the same distinctive shape, protected coves, and a central spine of hills described in the novel. Most compelling are its sea-level caves, accessible only by small boat, where local legend insists pirates once hid chests of stolen treasure. The similarities are so striking that it feels less like an inspiration and more like a direct transcription. Yet the world holds other powerful contenders, each with its own compelling legend. Far to the north lies Oak Island in Nova Scotia, a place that has consumed the dreams and fortunes of hunters for over 2 centuries. Its infamous money pit is a complex, booby-trapped shaft that has swallowed endless excavations, hinting at a sophisticated secret buried deep below. While its connection to Captain Kidd is tenuous, the sheer persistence of the mystery and the scale of the endeavor mirror the obsessive treasure hunt from Stevenson's tale. Then there are the Cocos Islands, a remote volcanic archipelago off the coast of Costa Rica. This was a documented haven for pirates crossing the Pacific, a perfect spot to careen their ships and hide their loot. Historical records show that the infamous pirate Benito supposedly buried a vast treasure here, a hoard of gold and silver coins from a Spanish galleon, leading to its own long and storied history of exploration. When you lay Stevenson's hand-drawn map over these real-world islands, the correlations become deeply intriguing. The specific curve of a shoreline, the placement of a landmark, the description of an anchorage, all of them suggest that the author may have woven together fragments of genuine sailors' charts and pirate lore. The real treasure island might not be a single place, but a composite of many, a fictional X marking a very real and global obsession. The legend of Captain Kidd's fortune did not fade with the centuries. It simply evolved, trading wooden ships and cutlasses for sonar and satellite imagery. The most tangible breakthrough in this modern hunt came from the waters off Madagascar, where in 2015, a team of underwater archaeologists announced they had found the wreck of Kidd's ship, the Adventure Galley. This discovery was monumental, seemingly a direct link to the pirate and his lost treasure. Yet when divers explored the sunken timbers, they found no chests of gold or jewels. They recovered a single, 50-kilogram silver ingot. It was a tantalizing clue, a single piece of a vast puzzle that proved Kidd's story was real, but also that his real wealth remained stubbornly hidden. This single bar of silver did more than confirm history. It ignited a new generation of hunters, armed with tools Stevenson could never have dreamed of. On islands like Norman, teams now sweep the hills with ground-penetrating radar, sending pulses of energy into the earth to search for unnatural voids or metallic masses hidden below the surface. From orbit, satellite imagery analyzes minute changes in vegetation and soil composition, hunting for the subtle scars of long-filled-in excavation pits. The search on Oak Island has become a technological siege, with entire forests of drilling rigs and coffer dams battling the island's infamous, flooding booby traps. These modern quests have yielded fragments of the past, enough to keep the obsession alive. On beaches, storm erosion occasionally reveals a single, worn Spanish silver coin, lost from a pocket or washed from a shallow cache. On rocky outcrops, explorers still debate whether certain grooves and markings are natural weathering or cryptic directions left by a long-dead sailor. Each of these finds, no matter how small, is treated as a potential key. The hunters themselves are as varied as their methods. Some are historians, meticulously cross-referencing Kidd's trial testimony with old maritime charts. Others are entrepreneurs who have invested their life savings, driven by a blend of historical passion and the thrill of the chase. And a few are true obsessives, individuals who have dedicated decades to walking the same stretches of shoreline, convinced that the next storm, the next sweep of the metal detector, will be the one that unlocks everything. They are all united by the same question. If the Adventure Galley gave up one bar of silver, where is the rest of it? The hunt continues not because the treasure is guaranteed, but because the possibility, however slim, is a treasure in itself. So the line between Stevenson's fiction and our reality was never truly solid. His map was a work of imagination, yet it pointed toward real islands shaped by genuine pirate legends. The charismatic villainy of Long John Silver, finds its echo in the tragic downfall of Captain Kidd, a man caught between his commission and his crew's greed. And the physical X on that hand-drawn chart corresponds to tangible, windswept places like Norman Island or the distant Cocos, where the earth itself seems to whisper of hidden gold. This mystery endures not because we are certain the treasure exists, but because the possibility is a powerful artifact in its own right. It speaks to a universal longing for discovery, for the chance that a single clue could rewrite a life. It is the thrill of the unsolved puzzle, a story written in salt water and sand that we are all still trying to read. The real treasure was never just the chest of coins. It is the enduring legend, the hunt that connects us across centuries, and the simple, irresistible question it poses to every one of us. If you had a map, which island would you sail to first? Let me know your choice down in the comments, along with your own favorite pirate legend. And if you want to join us on the next journey into the forgotten corners of history, be sure to subscribe.